Um, to understand how to calculate partition values better, I have taken an example from the guidebook that you have with you. It's example number 27. Here we have individual observations, a list of I think 13 observations, individual observations that are given to us, and the following partition values Q1, Q3 in the quartiles, second and ninth decile, that is D2 and D9, and P16 as well as P65. These are the ones that they have asked us to find out. So remember, the first step when you're talking about partition values, be it the quartiles, be it the median, percentiles or deciles, the first step is always to arrange it in ascending or descending order. It's always easiest to arrange it in the ascending order, right? So let's write the same 13 observations first in an ascending order. So here I have arranged the entire set of 13 observations in an ascending order. Ascending means smallest to biggest, right? Now to find the position of each of this partition value, let's start with to find the position of Q1. Since Q1 means 1/4 of the total observations, I shall write it as n plus 1 by 4. Remember, in individual observations using n plus 1 is more helpful. So you have 13 plus 1 by 4, which is 14 by 4, which is 3.5. So what this means is that your Q1 value will be between the third and the fourth number, that is between 155 and 175. So what you're supposed to do is to find, to find the value of Q1, it will be 155 plus, since 155 is the third number and you still have 0.5 left from 3.5, so 0.5 times the difference between 175 and 155, right? So 175 minus 150, that's 155 plus 0.5 times 20, which means 155 plus 10, which is 165. Next we are supposed to find the value of Q3. To find value of Q3, we know Q3 is that partition value such that 3/4 of the total observations lie below this Q3 value. So I'm going to go for 3 by 4 of n plus 1, that is 3 by 4 of 13 plus 1, which is 14, which is 10.5. So the 10.5th element of the series is your Q3. Now as you can see, the 10th number would be 875, and it is between 875 and 895 that our value of Q3 is. So to calculate it, we'll write it as the 10th number 875, this is your 10th number, plus what is remaining, 0.5 times the difference between 895 and 875, which is basically 0.5 times 20 again. So you have got 885 as the value of Q3 for this set of individual observations. Next, we have been asked to find the position or the partition value of the second decile. Now, if you remember the second decile will have 2/10 of the total observations below the value. So, 2 by 10th of n plus 1, which is 2 by 10 of 14, which is 2.8. So, the 2.8th element is your D2 value. As you can see, the second value is 125 and your D2 value lies between the second and the third, that is between 125 and 155. So, to calculate the exact value of D2, I can write it as 125, which is my second value, plus we still have 0.8 remaining. So, 0.8 times 155 minus 125, which is equal to 125 plus 0.8 times 155 minus 25 is 30. So, that's 2.4 and 125 plus 2.4 sorry, that is 125 plus 24. So, that will be 149. So, 149 is the value of the second decile. Remember, D2 means below 149 there will be 2/10ths of the total number of observations, and above 149 there will be 8/10 of the remaining observations. The next partition value that they asked us to find out is the 9th decile, D9. Again, 9th decile will have 9/10 of the total values to the left of it or below it. So, I will write it as 9 by 10 into n plus 1. Since n is 13, that is 9 by 10 into 14, which is 12.6. So, 12.6th element or value is my D9, the 9th decile. Let us see. (905) is your 12th value and 985 is the 13th value. My D9 is somewhere in between 905 and 985. So, to calculate the exact value of D9, I can write it as the 12th element, that is 905 plus 0.6, that is 12.6 minus 12. So, 0.6 times the difference between 985 and 905. So, that is 905 plus 0.6 times 80. Which is equal to 953. To find P16 and P65. So, P16 is the 16th percentile position of the 16th percentile. So, the 16th percentile will have 16 by 100 of the observations to its lesser than it. So, 16 by 100 of n plus 1, which is 16 by 100 of 14, which is 2.24, I think. Yes, it is 2.24. So that means my P16 value will be between 125 and 155, the second and third value. To find the actual value of P16, I take the second value 125 plus, so 2.24 minus 2, that's 0.24 times the difference between the second and third values. 155 minus 125, which is 125 plus 0.24 times 30, which will be this is your P16. Similarly, position of 65th percentile. The 65th percentile will have 65 by 100 of the total observations below it. So 65 by 100 of 14, which is equal to, so that's 9.1. So your P65 will be between the 9th and the 10th number. Which means to find the actual value of P65, use the black pen. 765 plus, since 765 is the 9th number, you still have 0.1 left to explain. So 0.1 into the difference between the 9th and the 10th number. So 875 minus 765. So that's 7. Use your calculator if you want. Oh. So that's your 65th percentile.